Episode 3888, Capture the Moment, Not Perfection.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. It's time to do the happy dance because it's Friday. Raise the roof. Yes, come on. You know you're excited about it because you don't have to do anything tomorrow. Or wait, maybe you do. You're getting ready for the holidays. Are you putting up your Christmas tree? Oh, I'm right there with you. Come on. Well, today, you know what it is. It's Confessions of an Upset Mama. Capture the moment, not perfection. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. Well, you know, when life takes over, it has a way of swallowing your heart and demanding your head show up instead. We're wired to want control. We really are. To have everything in order to anticipate and prevent the unexpected, right? It feels good. It feels safer that way. But as a parent, the more you chase perfection, the more you miss the raw, imperfect, beautiful, priceless moments that really define your relationship with your child. Capture the moment, not perfection. Because let's be honest, no family runs on a flawless schedule. If we could, we all would be billionaires. Seriously. But that's not how life works, is it? Kids don't come with a manual or perfect moment alert. It's not like, don't miss this. And guess what? Messing up or missing a beat isn't a sign of failure. It may feel like that in the moment. It's just, though, a sign of an invitation to something deeper. So instead of trying to capture every perfect snapshot, how about capturing the moment itself? The unfiltered laughter, the messy hugs, the chaos, that happens years later. You'll realize that what really happened was the real picture of love. It's interesting. It's this time of season for the holidays, but for our family, we think a lot about portraits. And we haven't had a family portrait in a couple of years. And so guess what? It's time. And so we're gathering together to take those photos. And as much as I love it, it's also a hassle. Why? We have a large family. There's lots of people. We have the grandbabies now. We have the extra puppy dogs, right? We have the girlfriends, the boyfriends, and it gets a little bit complicated. We have the grandma, which then has now a great grandma because we got the grandbabies, right? So the family just grows and grows and grows. Now, mind you, I love it. But you see, it's interesting because you go to a photographer, the ones that still kind of do it a little bit more traditional, yet they try to modernize it a little bit with how they do their packages. And they'll do, on location, and then they'll say, we'll give you this much in this portfolio or this much in this portfolio. And I always want to ask the question, and I do, what do you do with all the photos that you don't take? And they're like, we just get rid of them. I think, no, I want them. They're like, but you can't have them. I said, no, they're of me. They're my family. I want them. Because you see, what's happening is the photographer is looking through the eyes of perfection. What makes them look good. But what I want to see is I want to capture the moment. I don't want to see both grandbabies sitting there with both of them smiling, looking exactly at the camera and everybody else just prim and proper, everything, all eyes. No, I want to capture the moment. I want to capture the personality. Sometimes we get so stuck in our own ways, in our own head, that it's like it's got to be this way. And if it's not, then why am I doing it? What are you capturing in your family? Because I really want to remind you that you don't have to be overwhelmed by trying to raise a perfect child perfectly. You can step out of that prison of expectation by choosing unconditional love and presence instead. Don't jail yourself because you think this is how it's supposed to be. Because what if you would have the eyes to say, I want to capture the moment, whatever that moment looks like. And if that moment is a little chaotic with lots of giggles and a little bit of mess up, guess what? Later on, when you look at your fireplace and you see that beautiful portrait, you're going to remember that moment explicitly. But if you were only to have the perfected moment, the one where everybody's still, everybody has a smile, it even looks like the puppy dogs are smiling too, all you're going to do is say, yeah, that was great. You keep moving on. There won't be a conversation around it. There won't be, you remember when? That's what you want to create in your home. That's what you want to feel in life. So capture the moments. Be present. That's your kiss to keep it simple strategy. Capture the moments. Be present. And I know it's so hard, but if you just think about taking a picture and how you're taking that picture. Let me give you another example. We were going and visiting my daughter at her new apartment, and we moved her in a few months back, and she started her new career, and it's awesome. It's wonderful. And we took the family puppy dog, Rhino, our English bulldog, who, by the way, is, let me see, I'm calculating here in my head, almost 12 and a half years. And I asked Siri, I said, who's the oldest bulldog, right, that lived the longest? And the oldest bulldog, I don't remember the name, but 13 years. I'm like, we might beat that. That would be awesome. I'm like, well, all this hard work, we should get something from this bulldog. Anyway, though, so he's sitting there and we're in this little downtown area and we just started snapping pictures. He was on the sidewalk in the old historic town and he was so cute. No leash because he can't move fast enough to chase anything. I mean, he just doesn't move fast at all. And so we can just let him do kind of whatever he is. And he's on the sidewalk, but then he would mosey his way. And then at one point he went in to the entranceway to go up to the apartment, which of course he can't climb all those stairs. And it's like 3 flights worth of stairs and they just go straight up. It's like the stairway to heaven. And he's sitting down there. And at one point he looks up and you can just see his eyes. And we're thinking, this is what he's saying. I can't believe I got to go all the way up there. And you know those commercials or even those movie things where it just, there's a stairway or something and it just keeps going and elongates and it gets longer and longer and longer. And you're like, it's never going to stop. We know with him it was. And then at one point he turned around and looked at us like, what are you looking at? Knowing exactly what we knew he was thinking, even though he really wasn't thinking it. But play along here. It was fun. We were capturing him in the moment. It wasn't him, being, oh, could you just be a little puppy dog like you were when you were 4 years old? No, it was about being almost 12 and a half years old and being amazing and looking cute and us enjoying him. Those are the kind of things that you want to capture. And so what does it look like in your real life? How do you capture the moments? By being present. Number 1, put the phone down fully. Now, I know if you're capturing an actual picture, then you'll need the phone. But when your mind or your thumbs are scrolling, your heart is elsewhere. Let me say that again, okay? When your mind or your thumbs are scrolling, you got your brain working and it's going scroll, 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 scroll. Flip, 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 flip. Am I going sideways, up and down? Doesn't matter. Your heart is elsewhere. You become numb. Being present means actually showing up. That means you're alive, not numb. No distractions, no multitasking. It's about looking at your child in the eyes during dinner, right? Actually seeing them, listening to their stories without planning your next response, right? It's not about, oh, this is what they're going to say. Oh, this is what I'm going to respond with. No. It doesn't work that way. Be there. Just be there. And yes, I know the world demands attention, but your child's moment deserves more. And it's one thing if you want to do it once in a while, but you know what? Do it on your own time, right? Do your social media and you're scrolling and you're shopping and all of that, unless if it's like, I've got to get this now or I'm not going to be able to get it. And it's you're one and done and you're finished, okay? I get those moments. It's a brief, clip in time. But when you're doing it all the time, at dinner time every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it repeats again. Not a good idea. Put the phone down fully. Commit to your child first before you commit to your phone. Yeah, I know that's a sucker puncher, isn't it? I know it is. It's hard, and I'm guilty too. And it's something I have to really realize. And I find that especially with my grandbabies. Now, my other kids, of course, my kids, my 5 babies, they are all older. They're grown. I don't have to manage them, right? They're not 2 and 5. But my grandbabies, they're 2 and 5. They need grandmama full on. And guess what? They deserve my 100% attention when I'm with them. And it's not because they're, just the light of my world, which they are. It's because they matter. Just as if you were sitting in my home, you deserve 100% of my attention. It would be so rude if you knocked on my front door and I said, "Oh, come in. It's so good to see you again, Lauren. Come in, have a seat. Let's chat for a little bit. Let's catch up." And then all I do is sit on my phone and scroll. Yeah, it makes you kind of sit there and go, "That's kind of rude, Christiane." I know. Yet we do it all the time. Just because it's the norm doesn't mean we're supposed to do it. Number 2, accept imperfection as the new normal. Yeah, did you hear that? The imperfection as the new normal. And what that means is stop fighting the inevitable chaos. Stop fighting the noise. Stop fighting the mess. Because guess what? It's going to happen. It just does. Why? Because you got rascals that you're living with. And sometimes those rascals, you just can't do anything. So when you relax your grip on perfect, you make room for what's real. That spilled juice, the milk, the missed bedtime, the unplanned tantrums, they're not failures. They're the flavor of life you'll one day miss. And I know I don't necessarily miss the tantrums, but they do connect to other memories that make you laugh later on. So remember, presence doesn't require perfection. It requires acceptance. And that's the key. And then finally, number 3, create small rituals that anchor you together. You want something to be cohesive. Rituals don't have to be big or Instagram worthy, right? It can be a bedtime story, a 5-minute hug before school. It can be FaceTime at a certain time, or just because. Maybe it's a silly dance in the kitchen. You see, rituals signal, "Hey, I'm here. You're not alone." And it roots both of you in the now instead of the, "Well, what if? What if mom isn't here?" These simple acts invite connection and make moments unforgettable. Basically, what that does is it seals the deal. That's what small rituals do. You look forward to it, right? When we go visit our grandbabies, what are we doing? We're reading books. We're playing Play-Doh. We're going outside. We're being very creative with them. When they're working with their hands and they're singing and they're dancing and all of this, what is it doing? When you're working both sides of the brain, when you're working all 5 senses, it seals the deal. They have the opportunity to remember more, to make a deeper connection. So be willing to create small rituals that anchor you together, that makes you whole as a family. Capturing the moment is about choosing love and presence over pressure and plans. It's about being messy. It's about being human and fully engaged, even when life feels anything but perfect. And man, when we make that choice as parents, not just to survive the chaos, but to thrive in the midst of it, that's where it creates the memories that last a lifetime. So you've got a choice today, Mom. You got a choice today, Dad. Chase an impossible ideal or lean into the most beautiful, imperfect life that you could ever imagine. You want to make and create a strong foundation in your family. And that comes and is led by you. And whether or not we agree or not, we as parents, we're leaders. We're leaders in our household. And you may say, no, I'm a leader in my work, in my career. But a leader in my house? No, you are. You're leading your family. Whether you're a mom, a dad, an older brother, younger sister, doesn't matter. You have leadership within your quote unquote status. Okay, so if you're the mom, there's responsibilities, you have rules, you have not necessarily a position in the family, but there are expectations that if you're married, let's say, you and the husband are saying, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to make our family work. And so you either choose to fulfill those or ask for help when you can't do it, or it doesn't work. And I think a lot of us are sitting here trying to say, but I want it to look like this. I want to go back to the beautiful White House with a picket fence and, the 2.5 kids that they say, which I know is totally ridiculous, but I don't even know what it is now on how many kids. Actually, I think it's like maybe 1.5, but how do you have a half? I'm just saying, how do you do that? I don't get it. Ridiculous. But we'll leave that for another episode. We really need to have kind of crazy talks. I don't know. It would be interesting for sure on what makes people go round in how they think about things. But in reality, in what you want to do, so not only can you impact the world that you touch, but you can raise kids that could go out and impact the world that they touch. That's what you want to do. Because 10, 15, 20 years from now, you don't want them back knocking on your door going, can I live in your basement? And if you don't have a basement, can I live upstairs? If you don't have an upstairs, can I live next door to you? Right? No, you don't want that. You want them to be problem solvers, critical thinkers, ones who say, you know what, I'm going to go out and make a difference in the world. That's the kind of parent you want to show up and be. And that comes when you capture the moment, not perfection. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Hey, guess what? Thanksgiving's next week, so you better start preparing. Go get that turkey. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life, and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.